Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and I'm an attorney that assists dental associates with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about a dental associate schedule and duties, which are listed in the contract, meaning what are some of the specific things about your schedule or what services that you're going to provide for the employer. Therefore, there's no ambiguity and there's no kind of shenanigans that the employer can pull as far as how much time you have to spend in the office. So as far as the schedule goes, more specificity is generally better, meaning it's good to say, all right, if you're going to work 4 days a week, then the contract should say the expectation is that you're going to work 4 days a week and that the schedule can't be changed without mutual agreement. And that's really important. If you start off at one, maybe, I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or something like that, you want to make certain that the employer can't just unilaterally change your schedule without your approval. The biggest problem with this generally is Saturdays. Maybe an employer doesn't offer Saturdays at the beginning, and then they start offering Saturdays. Then they want the associate to start providing care on Saturdays as well. And most people don't want to work on a Saturday. So it's important to put, all right, what days of the week are you working? And then if the schedule does change, the dentist has the opportunity to say, no, I'm not interested in doing that. Next, the length of time that you're working. Having set hours are important. Some contract will say that the dentist has to stay until the last patient leaves or until the entire schedule is done. That can be okay as long as the employer is not taking advantage of you. So for instance, let's say they're like, oh, well, we open up at 7 and we're here until 6 or something like that. That's a very long day, much longer than normal. And so maybe if you are okay doing that, but then your compensation needs to reflect that. A normal, work hour or work day from like 9 to 5 or something like that, that'd be something that would go along with the standard daily rate. But if you're on a base salary, you don't want to be working 10 to 12-hour days just because the employer thinks they can take advantage of you because you are exempt. So having the hours, I think, or maybe a maximum. So you could say, dental associate will work no more than 40 hours on average per week, something like that would be effective. Now, as far as services go, for the most part, the services are pretty standard amongst dental associates. Obviously, some have skills. Maybe you're more into endo, or you can do crowns and bridges, or extractions, or implants. Everyone has their own kind of set of skills. One thing that I think is pretty important for any dental associate is to make certain that you're not going to have to do hygiene. I have many dental associate clients who are this is mostly with smaller practices, where the expectation is that they will be doing hygiene. And then, if you're on a base salary that's relatively good, then I guess that's fine. It doesn't really matter what you're doing with your time as long as you're getting paid an agreed upon amount. Where this becomes a problem is if you're paid purely on collections, somewhere between 32 to 35% would be a standard amount for a net collections percentage for a dental associate. But if you're spending your time doing hygiene, you're making much less money than you could be doing other things. And so anytime you're looking at a job, you need to say, all right, what is the staffing situation? How many dental assistants do you have? How many hygienists do you have? How many operatories do you have? What's the turnover amongst the hygienists? And then are the dental associates, do they ever have to step in and do hygiene? That would be something that you want to avoid as a dental associate, because if you're paid on collections, it will affect your total compensation down the road. If there are specific things that you don't want to do, meaning there are some types of things that I don't feel comfortable doing, maybe not now or without specific training, then you want to list that in the contract as well, as that you won't be required to do them, perhaps unless you feel comfortable, or once again, you'll mutually agree with the employer that you will expand the services that you can offer. So that's a little something about schedule and duties for dental associate. If you have any questions about your employment contract or independent contractor agreement, feel free to contact my law firm at the information listed below in the description. And I appreciate you watching the video. All right, take care. Bye.